Hi. Today we're going to talk about some really important topics. It's very pertinent, especially with what's going on with the Salmonella outbreak now from jalapeños. So I wanted to just share some things that you need to know. And what I wanted to tell you is there are real serious consequences when you eat something that's been inundated with salmonella that gives you that horrible diarrhea and you're vomiting, and there's things that you need to know about that you might not be aware of. Once you eat something, it could take days before it manifests into the diarrhea and the and vomiting. It takes a while for it to navigate through your system. So right now, it's coming from someplace in Mexico, but there's been cases identified in 27 states already, according to the CDC. And I'm sure the number's gone up, but so far 36 people have been hospitalized. They've been that sick that they have to be hospitalized, probably from dehydration, from the vomiting and the diarrhea. It means that your electrolytes are off, everything is off, and your body is desperately trying to fight off this infection. And it could in severe cases, if you already have an immune system that is compromised, it could lead to death. So, because these incidences keep happening, it's really important when you get your produce, no matter where you're buying it from, that you give it a thorough soaking with a solution with iodine, 1 part iodine to 10 parts water, and just let it soak. Let your vegetables and fruits soak in that for a good hour if you can, and then rinse it and clear that away, and then clean out the sink and let it soak again in just the regular clean water. And then you dry off everything and you put it in clean containers and put it in the refrigerator. That'll minimize your exposure. I know I've talked about this, but I've gone to India 3 times. I've been to Egypt 3 times. When you're in a third world country, you have to be especially careful. And so the place that I stayed in India, this one particular place, that's where I learned how to detox your food and prevent the possible outbreak of something like salmonella. So, and it's very, very effective. But you want to, I feel bad for the farmers who are picking the jalapenos, because in a humane way, when we think about this, they have no place to go to go to the bathroom. There's no place for them to wash their hands, even if they're conscious enough to want to wash their hands. They're really left on their own, and with the elements and doing what they have to do for their bodily needs, and it's not their fault. So we have to be proactive, and when we're consuming these or purchasing these fruits and vegetables, no matter where they come from, unless you have your own garden, no matter where they come from, you need to take precautions, even if you have your own garden, because like where I live, I have deer droppings all over my property, and the deers could be in. If I, that's why my husband won't let me have a garden. But for people who have their own gardens, from what flies over your garden, or with the deer and squirrels and everyone else who's trying to get at your garden, they'll do their business in the garden as well, and that's going to affect you. So you really have to learn how to clean your food properly before you store it. So this don't be afraid to go to Mexican restaurants. Don't be afraid to eat out. Just work on improving your own immune system with things like grapefruit seed extract. It's a liquid that you add 10 drops to a mug of tea, and you drink that a couple times a day. It's good for so many things, so many potential illnesses in your body. It's great antifungal, antimicrobial, antibiotic. anti-inflammatory, and it really helps your body fight off pathogens that you don't even know where they're coming from. Could even be airborne. So I would always have grapefruit seed extract in my pantry if I were you. And then make sure that you're limiting your the amount of sugar that you eat, because when you eat sugar, it causes inflammation. We'll talk about inflammation down in the next segment, but inflammation lowers your immune system, so you want to make sure that you're always having the cleanest diet that you can. And remember that carbs turn into sugar, so you have to count that as sugar. It spikes your insulin, and then your body stores fat. I'm the queen of that because I'm a bread baker, sourdough bread baker, so I know what that's all about. And by the way, just a side note, today is day 1. I went back on the keto diet so that I could clean it out, clean my system out, and get ready for the Christmas holidays. But on another note, just be careful with one outbreak after another. Who knows what's next? It could be cantaloupe, could be berries, you don't know. Just use that practice. There's also something else I learned when I was younger. If you clean your sink, take 1 teaspoon of Clorox bleach and then fill your sink with water and then put the vegetables in there, it'll do the same thing as the iodine. And I've done that over and over and over again. I've never had an issue. Once you drain the water out after the vegetables and fruits have been soaking, then you fill the sink up with water again, and then you soak them in regular water, and then you should be good to go. It should be okay for you, because you don't want to stop eating fruits and vegetables. They're so important for your health and wellness and beauty. Jalapeños give you vitamin C. They help increase your circulation. That's why you get so flushed when you eat them. Your skin gets red. Just make sure that you're not eating too many spicy foods, because you can permanently break your capillaries. When I give facials and I'm giving a facial to somebody who has a really beet red skin all the time, I always ask them, do you eat spicy food? And the answer is always yes. And when your body is exposed to spicy food all the time, you'll burst your capillaries, because your blood just courses through your capillaries, and it just wrecks them after a while. So it's important to do everything in moderation. That's really important. So moving on from that, of 191 people who were interviewed by health officials, 177, or approximately 93%, reported eating at a Mexican-style restaurant before becoming sick, which is an indication that whoever the big store is that they buy from, whatever store that is, that's where the problem is coming from. So until this issue goes away, really boost your immune system with the grapefruit seed extract. Also, chelated zinc is really important for you. Increasing your vitamin C levels through supplements, 500 milligrams at a time, is really important for your immune system. And it's this way you can live a more normal life and not be so worried, because your immune system is always armed and ready to go. So we can move on to what Salmonella, you might not even know what it actually is. It's a bacteria, and it causes the diarrhea and the vomiting, and it causes fever, and before you get diarrhea, you'll have wicked stomach cramps, which is so uncomfortable. That's how you know it's coming. So that's why I want you to have in your pantry, where you keep your vitamins, always be ready with that grapefruit seed extract, because it is a game changer for you. Has to be the liquid grapefruit seed extract. The pills do not work, at least for me. It was even the same brand that I took the pills with me on a trip, and the out of convenience, but it didn't work the same. So grapefruit seed extract in the liquid form, you buy a bottle, it'll last you for years. But you just put 10 drops in your tea 2 or 3 times a day, unless you're really, really sick, and in the throes of it, then you can take more of that. So also, if you make a concoction with apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon or the juice of half of a lemon, real lemon, and a teaspoon of turmeric, fresh cracked pepper, and in a large glass of water. That's really important for you. And try to drink that after a meal where you've had fat in the meal to help it get absorbed. So that's really good for your immune system and for inflammation, and also to help fight off things and keep your heart healthy and your intestines healthy and your gut biome healthy. Because when your gut biome gets wrecked from something like salmonella or parasites or things like that, like there was a parasitic outbreak recently where one thing that I love for people to take with parasites is black walnut tincture. You add that to your tea and it kills parasites. So that's a side note that's really important for you. But what you need to do is just always be ready and just treat your body as a temple. So always treat your body with love and respect so that you're ready when these things are thrown your way. Make sure your children are really protected as well, because the elderly and children are the ones that are the most vulnerable, or people with pre-existing conditions that where their immune system is really compromised. It's really important for you. And also any adult over 65, which is terrible because I'm pushing 70, but I am always super ready for what's coming my way. If you looked in my pantry. The other thing that's really important for something like this is eating raw garlic, but just make sure that your garlic is organic. It comes from a reliable source, because there is a country out there that uses sewer water on their in their garlic crops, and that's what gets exported to America. So be very careful where you buy your garlic from. Make sure it's organic. Know your food sources. It's important for you. So okay, we can move on from that.
Okay.
So we have an audience question here.
Mm-hmm. It goes into as far as how can someone know about the symptoms.
Well, the symptoms are obvious for you because, well, here's one thing. Before you actually get diarrhea, you'll have the cramping. Before you vomit, you'll feel super tired. Whenever you feel unusually exhausted, just know your body is fighting something. So when that happens, it's very important for you to realize that you've consumed something that's now taking its course and it's going to hit you. So that's why I want you to be ready all the time with that powerful natural antibiotic, antifungal, antimicrobial grapefruit seed extract. I wish I could remember the brand name that I use, but it's in a white bottle with red letters. That's all I remember. And you can get it at really good health food stores. Oddly enough, Whole Foods does not carry it. I don't know why. But a real health food store will carry that. Like here we have a store called Feel Right in Western New York, but you know your good health food stores. And you can also order it online. Thank God for Amazon, because you most likely can get that online. So we're going to move on to another segment right now, and it's about sleep, exercise, and inflammation. So I want to talk to you about sleep. So Sleep is so important for you for a gazillion reasons. When your body sleeps, that's when it gets to repair. And unless you go into a nice, good, deep sleep state, your brain holds on to toxins. During that sleep state, your brain flushes itself out and it repairs itself. But your whole body gets refreshed. Even your emotional body gets refreshed when you sleep and you sleep well. I just had a client this morning who came in for reflexology, and when I was doing her feet, her brain points were really hurting her, and because she's got a very stressful job. But what's happening for her is the pain that she's getting in her T-bands on the side of her legs, it's stopping her from being able to find a comfortable position to be able to sleep. So she never gets in that deep sleep, rest and repair state. So it's really important for you to make sure that your room is dark, your room is clean, it's quiet, you have good air circulation, and you relax your mind through slow, long, deep breathing before you go to sleep, and that you say your prayers, you give thanks where thanks is due, which is everywhere. No matter what you're going through, give thanks. It's good. It's good for you. It's on every level. But make sure that you check in before you try to go to sleep. And if you do that, you will sleep more peacefully. And when you sleep very peacefully, your body can fight inflammation as well. And it's very important for you to make those connections. It's like a domino effect. When one thing is off, everything gets affected. So there's some new and interesting research. The NIH highlighted research in 2026 that examining sleep, exercise, and inflammation is associated with age-related mutations in blood stem cells, which is really important. So if you want to help your stem cells, when you buy broccoli, that long fibrous part of the broccoli, you should cut off the very woody end, peel that broccoli stem, slice it into little medallions, and add that to your salad. That helps your stem cells get strong and go to where they need to be. So your diet is really important when it comes to things like your blood stem cells. So because as you age, things don't work the way they're supposed to work. So that's where food is really important for you. There are foods that'll keep you up at night, like if you're eating sugar at night or you're binge eating after dinner. These are the reasons that cause the poor sleep habits, which then ricochets into or dominoes into your immune system being shot and all of the other ramifications from that. So you've got to make sure for your heart and your cardiovascular disease that you're in a really good natural deep sleep state as well. So an interesting part of the research is that lifestyle factors, particularly sleep and physical activity, influence inflammatory processes associated with these changes. So you know how when you exercise, serotonin, your feel-good hormones are released? That's really important for you. It doesn't mean that you should exercise right before you go to bed, but you should exercise every day for 20 minutes to a half an hour or more. And then before you go to sleep, you make sure you're clean, take a shower. That water is very healing for you. Put on clean clothes and then snuggle your pillow. But as you're snuggling your pillow, make sure that you are really relaxing your mind. And one quick and easy way to do it is through, like I said, your breathing, long, slow, rhythmic breaths. That is so important for you. So sleep, some people who feel like, well, I have too much to do, I have to cut down my hours of sleep. It's not good thinking, because if without really good sleep, your body cannot heal itself. You know, your brain tells everything what to do in your whole body. It's like like when in the towers, in an airport, the controllers, they are telling each plane what to do and when to do it. That's what your brain is doing. So it's imperative that you take care of your brain, and one important way to do that is through getting really good deep sleep. It also is very good for your skin, because when you sleep well, when you wake up, you look very refreshed, and you look happy, and you feel ready for the day. So it's important for you to have respect for the hours that you need to be sleeping. 7 to 8 hours is really ideal. If you really cannot do that, you should meditate before you go to sleep, because if you meditate before you go to sleep, 10 minutes of meditation for your nervous system is equivalent to 8 hours of sleep. So if you just meditate for 15-20 minutes, and you get yourself ready to be in that deep sleep state off the bat, your body will get a jump start on repairing itself on every level. So some people say, I've heard people say, I can't, there's too much to do, I'll sleep when I'm dead. You'll be dead if you don't sleep, because your body really needs that sleep state for your health and wellness and beauty. So as far as movement goes and exercise, the type of exercise that you do is really important for you. Stretching is really important before you start exercising, because you want to relax your muscles and increase your circulation through the muscles and the tendons, and you want to get everything lubed up before you actually go for your walk or your run or get on your trampoline or whatever your form of exercise is. It's really good to stretch first. Then you do your exercise. The first 20 minutes of aerobic exercise just gets you warmed up, and after 25 minutes, that's when your body starts burning fat, which is really good. But then you have to have a good cool down session. But when you're exercising properly, you're taking in more oxygen, and every cell in your body really needs that oxygen. So exercise is imperative for you. We have a plate that we stand on. It's a vibration plate. And if I don't have time to exercise, I will stand on that vibration plate for 15 minutes, and my legs will start to itch and burn, because it increases the circulation so much in my whole body. It helps with bone density. It helps your brain, because it's circulating everything, all the blood back up through your brain. So it's really important for you to choose an exercise. Switch it up. Don't do the same thing all the time. It's good to know that. When you wake up, though, it's very important. When you wake up, you got to wake up your ankles and your feet first by stretching them. Even before you get out of bed, you stretch your feet in this way, in this manner. Then when you stand up, when you get out of bed and you go in the bathroom and brush your teeth and get yourself ready for your day, what you should do 100 times if you can, or work up to that, is do toe raises. You stand on your tippy toes and then go down flat. And you do that as many times as you can, but try to work it up to 100 times, because they say your second heart is in your calf muscle. And when you've been laying down or sitting down for long periods of time, in this case hours, you really need to help your heart by doing that movement where you're stepping on your toes, one after one foot at a time, and you get that blood pumping up back to your heart. And then of course your heart filters the blood, goes through all the filters, goes in the 4 chambers of your heart, and then gets pass through your system again, but more oxygenated than before. So it's very important to start your day that way. So stretching is excellent for you in every way. So during the day, if you have a desk job, every half hour or an hour or so, stand up and do your some kind of movement. Put your arms up over your head and stretch from side to side. Bring your knees up to your chest if you can. If you can't get up away from your desk, these things are really important for you. Because you're when we're sitting, they say sitting is the new smoking. So when you're sitting for hours at a time, especially like let's say you have a long flight, you're going on the other side of the world or the other side of the pond, you really need to protect your heart and your brain and your oxygen levels while you're doing that. So it's really important, especially when you're on an airplane, to do those movements for yourself. It's imperative that it would be important for you to get that blood moving. Strength training, the older you get, it's easy to develop osteoporosis, which is when you get the little pinholes in your bones. So strength training is really good for that. And because when you strength train, the calcium that's running around in your bloodstream will go into the bones to strengthen the bones and make them thicker, so that your body can be held up the way it's supposed to be, and for the muscles to wrap around the bones properly, and the muscles to bulk up around that bone. So it's important that you're eating the right foods that will help your osteoporosis or osteoporosis. And foods that are high in calcium are great, but unless you're working out either strength training or with light weights, the calcium's just going to run around in your body and it's not going to go where it's supposed to go. Also, I learned that eating 5 dates a day at different times during the day, you don't have to you shouldn't eat all 5 at once. It really helps to strengthen your bones as you age. So there are great foods that you can eat that really help you. Like, for instance, when you eat sardines, you eat the whole sardine, meaning bones and all. Or if you're eating anchovies, you eat the little bones and all, because that's how you get the good calcium that is bioavailable, and it goes into your bones, like I said, from the weight exercises. Dancing is great because it's good movement, that flow. Tai Chi is great just for the movements alone and creating that peaceful state, and the oxygenation of the blood flowing through your body in a peaceful way. And when you're doing stretching and you're doing something like Tai Chi, or yoga, you're actually helping your lymphatic system as well. And your lymph system is imperative for your health and wellness, for beautiful skin, for dark circles, fights dark circles under the eyes, for especially for your immune system though, because your heart is a pump that pumps your blood through your body, but your lymphatic system has no pump system to push that through. So you need movement you need your muscles to move in order for your lymph to move, your lymphatic fluid to move through the vessels. That's imperative for you. If you have a house and you've got a backyard, gardening is also another way to greatly pass the time, commune with nature, and it's a form of exercise, and you're burning calories. So that's really all very good for you. So all of these things that we're talking about can be reflected in a beautiful complexion, white eyes, strong bones, healthy body, healthy attitude, healthy mind. All of these things, like I said, the domino effect, all of these things are important for you to be able to live a more balanced life.
Yeah, so there was a question, people thinking about, is beauty different from health?
I think you can't have beauty without health because forget genetic beauty. When you look at somebody, especially celebrities who are totally made up, tons of makeup on, airbrushed, the photos taken of them through filters. When somebody walks through my door when I give treatment, and I look at their skin, but it's only when I touch their skin that I know what they need because they could look good. They could look like they have beautiful skin. But when I'm touching their skin, it's dry and brittle and it congested and clogged and it's got tons of dead skin cells built up on it. So I think that health and beauty go hand in hand. If you're on a budget and you can't buy product, if you can't buy product, you could use full fat yogurt, equal parts yogurt and honey. I'm sorry, not equal parts. 2 tablespoons of yogurt, 2 teaspoons of honey, good honey. Mix that together and apply that all over your face. And that's like a good hydrating peel that'll actually peel your skin. The lactic acid from the yogurt will peel away dead skin, and the honey is a humectant. And honey also helps to kill bacteria. So there are always ways that you can beautify your complexion on a budget or not. Like if you're not on a budget, I have phenomenal products that I created that are very easy to use. But I always tell people beauty starts from within. But beauty starts from within because if you have the wrong attitude and your emotional body is way off, then you will not be able to digest your food properly. You'll be making the wrong food choices and you'll be drinking the wrong things or drinking in excess or binge eating. So you really, this is where holistic comes in. That's what that means, what holistic. When you are literally working with the whole body, the whole being, mind, body, spirit. So inflammation comes from stress. So stress, when you have inflammation, like how it shows up in your skin is rosacea. Breakouts too, but rosacea hits you in the face. And so that's where you have to really reflect on what you're eating, even what time you're eating. Meaning, if you're eating after 8 o'clock at night, your body can't digest it properly. And if you're eating too quickly, your body cannot digest it properly because the digestive enzymes never get a chance to even be released, the ones that you need, or they don't have a chance when you're chewing to start the digestive process because all digestion starts in the mouth. So that's why it's so important for you to always be in a relaxed state before you eat. This way, the foods that you choose will help make your skin more beautiful, but not only your skin, your hair, your nails, your weight, your bones, your joints. It's all affected by what you eat. That's why it's really important to have that mind, body, spirit connection. Try to stay in a relaxed state while you're eating because it's very important for you. If you're in that fight flight mode, you'll never digest your food. So you need to be in the rest and digest state in order for you to digest your food properly. Do you have another question there?
Yeah, so the next question was, how do you know whether or not you have rosacea?
Ugh, because you're so red. It makes your cheeks very red and ruddy. Like I said earlier, spicy food could cause rosacea. Once those capillaries burst, you cannot get rid of it. So be careful. Rosacea could go away, but broken capillaries won't go away. You could throw thousands of dollars a year on laser treatments or injections for broken capillaries. It'll never work. They'll always find a way to pop back in. But rosacea that's caused by inflammation, that reddening, that pink, that deep pink in your cheeks, that is totally gut health related. So it's really important for you to eat fermented foods like yogurt, good Greek style yogurt with the live cultures in it, sauerkraut, live cultures, drinking apple cider vinegar and water with the mother. Apple cider vinegar with the mother is imperative. Drinking kombucha tea 4 ounces at a time. That's all you need. That's all you should ever drink at once. Different fermented foods like kimchi. Make sure your kimchi is not spicy though, because that extra heat is not good for you. But you really need to maintain a good gut biome. If you've been on antibiotics, it destroys your gut biome. So that's why it's really important to eat your fermented foods. Like, because I bake sourdough bread so much, because I can't eat regular bread, I mill my own flours, and I use my own starter that's many years old. And that bread is actually healthy for me. I just can't handle carbs. So for me, even though it could be good for my gut biome, for me it makes me fat. That's why today I started the keto. Thank you, keto. See, brain fart. Keto again. So anyway, so now I have all this starter. What am I going to do with it? I'll never destroy it, but I can use it to make crepes with. You just you spray a little avocado oil in a pan. You heat up like a cast iron skillet, spray it with avocado oil, and pour straight the excess starter. And then I sprinkle za'atar on it. I love the Middle Eastern spice. It's an herbal blend with sesame seeds. So healthy for you. Za'atar on it. Flip it over. Cook it on so that it cooks on both sides. Tear into that baby, and you can use it as a wrap, or you use it as kind of like a pancake with no syrup on it. But it's just so delicious. I really think you should try it. You know, all the different cultures around the world, when you look back at what they used to eat before modernity set in, they all ate very, very well. And we can learn from each other, like I said, the Middle Eastern diet and the Italian, like way back, the Italian diet, before they started processing everything. The Native Americans, they all knew what to gather, like what roots to eat. If they were sick, they lived off the land, and their food had such good nutritional value in it. That's why if you could have your own little garden, it would be so great for you. In your backyard or on your windowsill, or convert a closet into a hydroponic garden for yourself. So try to think of ways to get your own natural, well-grown food into your into your refrigerator. So what else came in?
So before you get into the next segment, you wanted to talk about the SPF special coming up?
Oh yeah. Okay. We have a really great SPF, and I love it. And I just got a new batch in, and it's superb. And it has Japanese green tea in it, and it has zinc in it, but it doesn't turn you white. It doesn't leave a white residue on the surface of your skin. and it gives you that incredible Ciminelli glow that we're famous for. And because I want to ensure that you have it and you have enough not only for the summer season, but going into the fall and winter, because you always need to have SPF on. You just have more skin exposed in the summer, so you go through more SPF. But we're going to have a special next week. So if you go on my website, SusanCiminelli.com. SusanCiminelli.com, and if you sign up, you can always be alerted to our sales because we have specials every single week, and it's a good way to dip in to the product line, so you won't be sorry. So and it's really important when you're using an SPF, by the way, that you use it every 2 hours, because after 2 hours, doesn't matter what the number is, SPF, ours is 30 because it has zinc in it, it's really higher than 30. But you have to reapply it every 2 hours. So it's important for you. But anyway, just wanted to let you know about that. So I think that, do you want to move up?
Sure.
Oh, also, I wanted to say one thing about SPF. Oftentimes, when people come in for facials during the summer, if they're new and they don't have my products, or they're not they've never used my SPF, and they're broken out, and they always blame it on the SPF. Waterproof SPFs tend to make people break out. So just be careful, be aware. If you are using a waterproof SPF or you're breaking out during the summer, just make sure you cleanse your skin more thoroughly and you use a washcloth when you're cleansing, because that light, gentle physical abrasion will help you get your skin cleaner. So that's a good tip for you.
So there was a question that came in. I've been using sunscreen, but unfortunately it's not working for my skin type.
Well, it depends on if does it sounds like the person is breaking out from it. So it just could be too heavy for you. So give mine a try. But if you have breakouts, like for instance, before I made my own product line, I used to wear foundation, and I would always have these crusty little bits around my nose, and from dead skin cells that were clinging to my skin that I didn't even know were there until I put the foundation on. So if you get your skin very clean with the washcloth and you wash with warm water and rinse with cool water, and you pat your face dry with a clean towel, and you're washing your face twice a day, you might want to revisit your SPF. It could just be that your skin was clogged and the SPF topped it off. If that is the case and you can't get mine for whatever reason, you can boil a pot of water, throw in some dried rosemary, oregano, thyme, put the lid on it, turn the heat off, let it steep for 10 minutes, take the lid off the pot, pitch a tent with a towel, and make sure you have enough room above the hot water, but let that steam open up your pores. And after just a few minutes, put the lid back on, because you want to keep reusing that water. You'll notice that after a few minutes, the heat is too much for you. Put some kind of a clay mask on, and that'll help to heal your breakouts. And then what you can do is dip a washcloth in that herbal tea solution, remove the mask with that, rinse with cool water, and you're good to go. But you can keep reusing that water without hurting it. A few times, you could reboil it and it'll be okay for you to do. It's like giving yourself a facial at home. And by the way, I made a great kit years ago called the 1, 2, 3 Glow Kit. It's a facial kit that where it's got a peel. You use it on a clean skin. It has a peel in it that you put on, very gentle. Then you put the serum on. Then you put a mask on. You leave it on for 20 minutes. Then you remove it with a warm, damp washcloth, and you'll get the same results as if you had a professional facial. So, and it's less than $30. So it's really worth it for you to try. So, do you have another question?
Yeah, so how do I know if I'm using enough?
Well, you want to coat your entire face and neck and décolleté and the backs of your hands and arms and your shoulders. Every exposed part of your skin should have SPF on it. But the important thing is that you reapply it every 2 hours, especially if you're going swimming in between. So when I used to go to St. Bart's every year, and I never went in the water without wearing a long sleeve t-shirt, because I just didn't want that. I didn't want to be burnt, because I had suffered so much as a kid with horrific sunburns. Like, I should have been hospitalized. Some of them were so bad because I was such a jock. I was always outside in the pool and doing sports. And I'm suffering from sun damage today still from my childhood. And that's another thing. It takes 10 years for the sun damage to surface on your face. So what you've done this summer, the ramification will be 10 years from now that you'll see it. So what you're seeing now is from 10 years prior. So it's really important that you use a good sunscreen, that you're consistent with it. I think you should keep one in your pocketbook all the time, because you want to make sure your hands are clean, but you just want to just pat it on your face and whatever exposed areas you can before you get out of the car to do whatever you're going to do, even running from the car to into a store. Even those few minutes can hit you.
So Helen Bars has a question. She says, what works best for brown spots from sun damage other than vitamin C?
Guess what? Nada. Nothing works. I learned that if you have a vitamin B12 deficiency, that won't happen to you, but I am covered on my hands and a few on my face in brown spots, and nothing really takes it away. You could try laser, you could try the expensive, dangerous creams. Nothing will really take it away. You could try homemade remedies that you can learn about online, but I've never seen a difference in it lightening or brightening the skin. Vitamin C is good to brighten your skin. I have a great vitamin C cream that's very light that you could put on even before your regular moisturizer that will brighten you, but nothing will eliminate them. And I think that's what you're going for. I know it's a sin to be envious, but when I'm working on women and I know that they've been in the sun and they have no sunspots on them, it drives me crazy because I'm filled with them, especially on my hands. I don't think God knew what color to make me.
Right. So if you want to let the people subscribe, tell them to subscribe and like for the next show.
Okay, so I would love to hear from you. You could leave me comments. I will answer every question that you have for me. You can go on our website, susanciminelli.com. You could subscribe. Please subscribe. I would love to see you again. And I would love to see you in Buffalo, New York. It's a great place to visit. And you can come to my little adorable peaceful oasis, the Susan Naturally Day Spa, and get a treatment from me if you want.